There are many people in this hobby that do not understand the Game Master's authority over the game. I'll hear some new people in the hobby say, I'd like to see the Game Master try to take that authority. And we know there are some players that simply do not respect the authority of the Game Master because they want to get away with doing stuff that we all know is wrong. Remember, this is a hobby of nerds. We have a thing called a social contract. The authority of the Game Master is not something the Game Master has to take and then try to pull away from players if they try to take it away. The authority that the Game Master gets is something that the entire group agrees upon so they can use that authority to manage the game. If a player ever disrespects that authority, the player is in the wrong. That is a bad player. If a player is in a bad Game Master's game that abuses said authority, uses it in ways that they shouldn't, the best option for the player is to walk away instead of coming up with habits and practices of fighting against a Game Master that they carry over to the next Game Master's game. Don't do that. Respect the situation. Understand that that bad Game Master is the one that is disrespecting the social contract between you, but you should expect that social contract to function at the next table. I have ran into players over the years that think you have to take that authority like a man, where it just doesn't work that way. We're nerds. For the game to function right, we have to get along this way. So if you don't actually do what the social contract is calling for you to do, it doesn't really work. People get burnt out. Games don't get completed. So the Game Master needs that authority to manage the game so they don't get burnt out and the game keeps going forward and there's a functioning line that everybody understands that they're working together with. Like, this game is the way it is. Here is the line. The players get it. The Game Master gets it. All these bad behaviors that break that social contract confuse the entire thing. It burns people out, upsets people, and spoils the entire thing overall. And let's stop catering to players that simply want to get away with silly nonsense. Those kinds of players need to be called out and humiliated in public. You can be that way, but we should make it that it's embarrassing to be that way. If you don't want a Game Master, if you don't like Game Masters having any authority, understand first off, they're not your slaves. So they're not going to show up with no authority and just do what you need them to do so you can have fun. And the way you're going to suggest having fun, I guarantee no dedicated DM is going to really want to follow that line. You might get a few players that will do that for you for a while, or a Game Master who will experiment, but I guarantee that will not be something that will last long. Maybe, just maybe, they'll bring out the AI Dungeon Master that you're looking for, or you can always go to an MMORPG, like a video game. I'm sorry. I have no real respect for people that don't respect how this works. Like, the authority, all these things, that the social contract, there's a reason why it exists. Because a Game Master, the person who manages your game, whatever title you want to give them, they need a certain level of authority to tell players to chill out, or here's how the rule works, or here's how this functions. So there's no long debates or arguments or something that breaks up the experience. And the experience is what the Game Master is managing. It just doesn't work right if a Game Master can't tell a player to chill out or, give an understanding of how things work in their, view, because they're not going to want to run the game if it's, here's how the player views the rule. So even though there's a disagreement, the player wins, well, that Game Master is not going to last long. Don't get it wrong. A Game Master does want to please the players to keep them coming back. But the freedom for the Game Master is they can sell it in any way that they want. That's the freedom. And if they've done a good job, if you give them an opportunity, regardless to what you want it, you try the way they want it, and you like it, you come back. And if you don't come back, and that's the Game Master falling on their own sword. But that's the freedom of being a creative person, is you don't really want to limit yourself. So as a Game Master, in a certain way, like, of course I'm serving my players, but when I hear a lot of talk about, Game Master should push that authority back and let players have more say over the overall game, I'm like, well, you're taking what I do, and you're taking the passion away from it, because deciding those things, that's my gimmick. That's what keeps me coming back to the table. Because given what I have to do, if I come back and just do what you want, well, I'm just serving you, right? And that's not fun. Maybe there's a minority of people out there, a very tiny, tiny minority that would come by and say, "Oh, Condor, you're completely wrong. I have fun, doing whatever my players tell me to do." Hey, fair enough. I've not encountered you in real life. Every game master I've ever encountered they would not accept that. Okay, for now, take care. You know what you can do? You can hit the like button. You can share the video. Oh, and there's another button you can press. That one that lets you subscribe to my channel for more content. Oh yeah, there's that bell thing. You can press that so you know when I've uploaded a new video right away.